Hi again everyone, it's Simon Keeling here and it is Tuesday the 27th of December. Thanks for watching once again, and again a very big thank you to all of you who've been looking at the site and clicking on the adverts that are around. If you see an advert you like, click on it, go through to it. That generates revenue for us and keeps the charge completely free. It keeps the site completely free of charge. So thank you for taking a look. Now, as far as today's concerned, got a big difference between the ECMWF and the GFS models at the moment for the back end of the coming week into the beginning of next. This is the 7 to 10 day mean forecast chart. We've got the ECMWF on the left here, we've got the GFS on the right, and these are the means for 500 millibars, and they're valid from a week today through to Friday the 6th of January. And what I want to point out to you on here is the ECMWF has this deep cold pull look towards the north of the British Isles. Now, track back the lines here and see that they go into northern parts of Canada. The ridge over the western parts of the states is pushing this air northwards over the northern parts of Canada, almost getting up here towards the pole, and then not allowing it to come further southwards until it gets south of Greenland and through the British Isles. So some very cold air. However, on the eastern side of the states we've got this deep trough which then picks up air from the tropical Atlantic, pushes it north and meets the air coming in from the cold pole, hence strengthening the jet stream and pulling this towards the central and southern parts of the British Isles. So the British Isles, as far as the ECMWF is concerned, actually dips back into cooler air. Now, compare that to the GFS. GFS has got this cold area of air up towards our north look, but above normal heights down to the south. And just trace back the lines here, and you'll see how many more of them originating here in the milder mid-Atlantic. Yes, they are across northern parts of the states, but look how the GFS makes much less of the ridge over the western parts of the states, so it's not pushing this air as far north and picking up quite so much cold air before it dips southwards across the Atlantic. So although the jet is still strong across the Atlantic, it's further north across Scotland, and it's there where we see the most blustery of the conditions, with milder weather across most of the country. So a big difference between the ECMWF and the GFS this morning. The question is, which one of these is winning out? I actually favour at the moment, probably leaning more towards this idea from the GFS of this strong jet coming across the Atlantic. But I think it's the ECMWF is the harbinger of things to come, because I still think from mid-month to later on in January we are going to see a fall off in temperature. I still see that as being on the card. So for now I think I'm going to go more towards the GFS. And what the GFS is signalling to, this is the Arctic Oscillation forecast taking us through to the 11th of January, and notice how it gradually comes down from being strongly positive down towards more neutral territory. And this means that the westerly winds around the Arctic are gradually becoming weaker, and that would be a hint for cooler weather to come into much of the northern parts of Europe. This is the North Atlantic Oscillation for the same time, and notice that it generally does stay in positive territory, hinting at mainly westerly winds across the Atlantic. They become particularly strong here early in the new month, and I do think that the start of the new year is going to be particularly windy across the UK. But then look how it dips into neutral to negative territory as we're heading into the 11th, 12th of January period, and this is what I think could happen. It's then that we need to watch for the potential for cooler weather to come in. Now notice I'm not saying particularly cold. This isn't to the level of last year, but it is still this period in the middle of January that we need to keep a careful eye on, just to see what may develop. Forecast precipitation chart from midday yesterday through to midnight a week today, and notice how the west of the British Isles, exactly as you would expect in this western regime, is bringing in rainfall levels of above normal, but through many central and eastern areas nearer normal conditions. Now, given these westerly winds, particularly through the end of this week, I think that's exactly what we should expect. Dry conditions down towards the southern parts of Europe there. As far as temperatures are concerned, well, they look like staying above normal. Having said that, it is going to be turning chillier through Wednesday and into Thursday as we get a brief blast from the northwest, particularly across northern Scotland. Could be some snow over the hills of Scotland during tomorrow and into Thursday, and very windy weather there, but that's not going to be lasting too long. I think temperatures will be coming up above normal before long at all. So it's this period around the middle part of January that I'm going to be watching closely. I have got some temperature charts drawn up to show you where I think the anomalies are going to be through Europe during January. Don't want to wish you those just yet though, might do that later on today or tomorrow for you. But that for now just gives you a heads up as to where we're going. Unsettled through the coming days, windy into the new year with some pretty heavy spells of rain around. Temperatures generally above normal, and watching for this cooler weather starting to come in around the middle to the middle of January, perhaps lasting until later in the month. But I stress again, this is not the depth of cold that we experienced in 2010-2011. Once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you see an advert you like, click on it, go through to the advertiser, show your support for us and for the advertiser too. Thanks for watching and keep the sun shining.